had to bring him back and might as well do it really in grand style. Welcome to Wicked Crazy Rumble predictions. I brought asked for the head of the table. The King of All Worlds granted it. What's up, head of the table? How you doing?
It's been a while. Throwback. It's been a while, and I
feel
gotta
like
say,
I should be playing like music and it'd be like the return of kind of thing.
okay, so I want to put this out there for everybody. While nobody likes the head of the table, and while the head of the table doesn't like anybody else, I am trying to be just a better person now. It's 2022, trying to leave all that negativity behind. Although Anakin, if you saw the show the other day, Anakin's trying to keep that negativity going. But I'm not about self-promote. Look, I'm wearing a Thunder Rosa shirt. I'm not wearing a head of the table and acknowledge me. I don't need to be acknowledged. I just want to be here to make predictions to beat Bodyslam's ass.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, granted, oh, wait a minute, Parrish is here. What's up, bud?
Not much. I'm here. Will Spencer actually wants to start doing POS shows, so I'm just letting you guys know.
So why don't we get into this stuff? And because Bodyslam.net, the Roundtable made their prediction show. So why don't we get into this quick since we have Parrish for the time being. The head of the table will have something to say after the predictions. So I'll read the card and we'll go through everything quickly just because, with Parrish
Take
having
your
time.
Don't let me rush you.
Don't worry about it. So the first match on the card for the 2020 Rumble is basically Edge and Beth versus The Miz and Maurice. This is kind of a continuation of the feud where it just seems like the same repetitive WWE formula is going to happen. So, Parrish, where do you think this is going to end up?
I think this is kind of the wind-up show, to be honest. I don't see these guys going to WrestleMania. I wouldn't care if they did an Edge versus Miz match at Mania as long as it makes Miz the one who looks good at the end because he needs that more than Edge does. But I think they're going to flat out end this one with probably Beth beating Maurice. Like I don't see how they do anything more with these guys moving forward.
I mean, head of the table, where do you think everything lies?
Well, first of all, I totally disagree that Miz needs anything from this because Miz has been there for like 16 fucking years.
Sure, but what major star really puts him over lately?
I just don't see him as a major star anymore. I think that's kind of the thing for me. I don't care about him at all. He was the champion for a couple of weeks last year around this time. Congrats to him for that, but it just, I don't know. It's I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. But I'm technically supposed to hate you right now since you're on Bodyslam's side, so I don't even know what the hell you're doing here.
To be fair, I never said what side I was on.
No, he's true. Parrish said that he was very neutral, but he wanted to make picks and be part of this. So,
and Anakin's telling me that I'm the untrustworthy one.
I trust Parrish anyway, so I mean, it's my call on that. So if anybody has a problem with that, they can bring it with me. Like I said, I'm the proprietor of this thing, so.
We're going to let that go. We're going to move on.
Bodyslam wants to trust me and think I'm on their side, and then they're like, hey, it's down to us, and then I can just over the top rope.
Yeah, you're going to be the Rey Mysterio to my Dominic. I know that.
Hey, but you know what? Dominic's is Eddie's kid, and Viva La Raza. If he ain't cheating, you're not trying.
Okay, good point.
Good point. And we got Anakin going off right now at work.
I picked my side. What is he talking about? Did he not see the show with his shitty internet the other day? Like, okay, no negativity, no negativity. Anyway, back to positive. The new head of the table. Okay. Anyway, I think that Beth and Edge are going to win this because it's Beth and Edge it's the Royal Rumble, and they've got to, I think this is going to be more of the crowd pleasing show. It's the first Rumble back in front of fans. I know the Rumbles themselves are probably going to have some insane moments. And it's just, I don't know, like the way that it's transpired on TV right now, it doesn't feel like Miz and Maurice would be winning this. I feel like this would be where Beth and Edge take the victory, and then in typical WWE fashion, they'll just continue the feud.
I mean, I guess it's the natural consensus, considering the fact that Anakin said the same thing. I believe Aaron said the same thing. So, I mean, it's the way it's going to be going anyways. So the next match on the card, there's not really much to say about this match. The next one, it's kind of predictable. A lot of WWE matches in this whole pay-per-view is pretty much predictable, except for the Rumble. But you got Becky versus Doudrop, Piper Niven. Oh, God. Where do you guys see this fitting?
I think this could actually be a dark horse for match of the night. To be honest, I think this one's clear cut, though. I don't think you have Becky losing the title until at least WrestleMania.
No. Yeah.
It's kind of the similar thing with Roman. However, I can see health being an issue to why maybe Roman has taken this off, or unless you want an excuse to do Roman and Lesnar, but we'll get to that later. I think this is Doudrop's coming out party, to be honest, at the Rumble. And I really think this is going to make her look more of an asset in WWE moving forward. But
yeah, that could be a possibility, like Ed.
I think Becky has this one, no doubt.
That is an interesting. That's an interesting thought there that Ed Fry just put up that I hadn't thought of before, because a lot of people are talking about Roman screwing Brock or Brock screwing Roman, but nobody's talking about Ronda screwing Becky. That's an interesting thought. I don't think that would happen, because I feel like Ronda's thing is probably the big surprise for the Women's Rumble this year, as it's been reported that they've been talking about that, and it's likely that that's going to happen. So I don't think that would happen, but it would be an interesting thing to see. Having said that, I really don't feel like there's any way that Doudrop wins this, because it's just a little placement feud for Becky for her next feud for the Rumble, for the WrestleMania, I mean. And yeah, it's just, she had a great promo on. I have to give her credit for Raw. On Raw, I actually put it in my top 5 hits list for another show that I'm doing that I'll plug in a little bit. Yeah, I thought that was probably the best thing that she's done since she came to the main roster. It showed her wit, it showed her personality, and I think Becky was a great person to bounce off of that. And, that stuff with Eva Marie sucked. So it was just like a complete turn-off. I didn't care about her at all. It's unfortunate that it's coming now in a match where she has literally no chance of winning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm picking Becky for this for sure.
Yeah. So
I just want to throw a side thing out, because it's something I was thinking about. I would love to see Nikki ASH and Doudrop become a team and align forces. And I think that would be a really interesting dynamic.
That would be really interesting. But what name would you like? The Do ASH or whatever? Who knows?
Well, I mean, when you think about it, they're both two people that started off as somebody else and then became a different identity, right? Whether Nikki Cross becoming Nikki ASH or Piper Niven becoming Doudrop, and it could be one of those where they become the faces of, like, we're actually positive, like, role models, even though they're the heels. And I think that's a completely different dynamic for both of them. And I think, why not mesh that together after Mania when you have the opportunity, because it's fresh for both of them. And who wouldn't want to see two Scots kind of just kick the crap out of people?
Yeah, take Nikki off of the superhero thing and just have them both just, going crazy on it.
Nikki is Scottish too, isn't she?
That's what I said. 2 Scots. Yeah, go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is interesting. I actually wouldn't mind that.
So Anakin agrees with you guys with Becky. Obviously, I mean, he is the biggest Becky stan out there. So yeah.
Also a jackass, but that's besides the point.
No, Anakin's
Throwback. You're wearing a Boston jersey. You have to go with the Celtic one, can't you?
Yeah, kind of have to. Yeah. Other than that, Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. A lot of people are going to be picking Seth on this. I think Seth might take the title off this, and Roman might be a surprise entrant in the Rumble. And then there you go with your Brock angle. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But what do you guys think?
Anakin, you can go first if you want.
I
called him the wrong name on purpose.
Yeah. Shut up, jerk off. Anyway, I think that this is probably... I feel like this one is harder to predict than Brock and Lashley because that promo on SmackDown was incredible between the two of them, and it almost made me think that there was like somewhat of a double turn, only because like the way that Roman was affected by what Seth was saying was almost like a babyface kind of a thing, like mentioning the Shield breakup and the chair to the back, which was probably one of the most iconic moments in both of their careers as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, like when they've been together. Just the breakup of the Shield was such a out of nowhere thing that nobody was expecting. And for that to play into Roman's psyche a lot, really, from that promo last night was really interesting because I hadn't seen, like the last time I remember at least seeing Roman like that was that Hell in a Cell match with Jay, where Jimmy had to basically throw in the towel almost for Jay, and then Jay said, "I quit." But he had that like babyface emotion in that match, and that was really like the last time that we saw that. And for this promo, it was just so interesting to see Roman.
What's up, Spencer?
Hey. It was so interesting to see Roman kind of be like the babyface in this, and Seth just being a total douchebag. And I mean, I never thought of it until that promo, but he was wearing the Joker colors, that Joker suit. It's like, it's perfect to see throughout their history. It would be right that Seth is the Joker for Roman. Just because he's had clean wins. Like, everything he said on that promo was true. So, this one's just really hard to predict. It's really hard to predict because I'm literally like a 50-50 either way. I could see Roman winning if Brock loses, which I kind of think is happening. And I can also see Seth winning, and they set up kind of a more tweener-ish babyface Roman to face Brock for WrestleMania. So I have to go with my gut on this, and I've got to pick Roman.
What about you, Parrish?
Yeah, I think you made a lot of good points, and I'm going to throw one that you kind of really didn't talk. What happens if Brock actually screws Roman out of the title, and Roman then screws Brock out of the title? And this is a match at WrestleMania that doesn't involve a championship, and I actually personally like that option a lot better because I don't think you need these guys to be champion going into WrestleMania. I think their name value are so big at this point that they're a main event draw without a championship. Therefore, you're leaving the titles to help other entities like a Big E or a Seth Rollins or, like throw in whoever. Another thing I heard, and I don't know if it's true, but with Roman's COVID issues mixed in with his leukemia stuff, I heard that he hasn't been dealing well or great with the recovery, and that he's still kind of on and off with some things. I don't know if that's true. I really hope it isn't. But if that's true, I wouldn't be surprised to see Seth win here if that is an issue. And obviously we all know, like, you can't, you got to just be this, like, go safe when it comes to the COVID stuff. But I really like the dynamic of the Joker and Batman because it's very true and it's very symbolic to these two. And I think these two were very much, like, I was confused why they didn't go Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns right after they broke up the Shield, just because Seth is the one that hit Roman first, and they went to Dean Ambrose, and they played that one out, and then they even did it again later on. They never really did a true Roman versus Seth feud. So this is such a fresh thing that I personally wouldn't even be upset if this is the WrestleMania match as well. But with that being said, I think you can't do Roman, and, like, you can't miss up on doing Roman and Brock. I would love to see Seth Rollins as WWE Universal Champion. I just don't think he does it. And I have a feeling Seth Rollins might actually go after something else at WrestleMania. So I'm picking Roman Reigns, but I have a feeling we're actually going to go towards more of a unification title match at WrestleMania.
Dang. Parrish calling a shot on that.
Also, I do also want to just throw in really quickly, there is the possibility, we talk about people screwing people, there is the possibility that because the Usos are now not able to be ringside for this, Kevin Owens comes in to screw Roman for Seth.
And we might even see the Usos screw Brock Lesnar as
true. So, it's so, like, I kind of like it though. I like that there's multiple ways.
So many pieces to this puzzle, and, like, when people say, like, this is my argument to why people will say, like, oh, WWE isn't about storytelling. This is the best story right now in professional wrestling, given the history, given how they're just hitting on all cylinders, and we know this match is going to be amazing because we have seen glimpses of it in the past, but these guys are money. And these guys are just two of the best. So it's going to be an absolute, this is probably the match of the night.
Yeah, it's got a point on that.
They're kind of already doing that now anyway.
All right, so let's keep the train going and stuff like that. Lesnar versus Lashley. This is going to be an interesting one. This is a match that everybody has wanted for years. For me, I wish it was a little sooner rather than now, but I mean, they're both at the top of their game right now, so it makes sense. What do you got head of the table?
Now, because I picked Roman to win, I pick Lashley to lose because technically Brock was. Did I say Lashley to lose? I did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean that. My apologies. My brain is very crazy right now. I meant to say that I pick Lesnar to lose, not Lashley. And the reason is because technically Brock was not supposed to have this title right now because he was never supposed to be in the match that got him the title. So I could see them kind of just doing a make good here where, okay, we're going to shift the title back off of him for Lashley and then have Roman and Brock for WrestleMania. That's really what I'm thinking it is, and most likely with the title on the line, because that's just, as much as I agree with Parrish, I think that definitely it doesn't need the title, but that's not how WWE thinks. So I think that Lashley is going to win.
What same answer as Drew? Parrish, you have the same answer or close to it, or what is your?
No, I mean, I think if you're hesitant about taking the title off Roman Reigns right now, I think it makes zero sense to take the title off Brock Lesnar. I mean, if there's one thing we know about Vince McMahon, he either goes big or he doesn't do it at all. So if you want to do Brock and Roman, then title versus title, it's never been a thing at WrestleMania before. Like, you've never had Universal versus WWE champion. And I can just picture Vince as like, this is some good shit, right? I think, Drew, if you're talking about doing somebody right, then Big E deserves to be put over in this scenario. If we're talking about guys that need to be done right with.
I totally agree with you there, but boy, doesn't it not look like that's the case with what happened on SmackDown yesterday.
Spencer saying Brock wins, Roman wins, Rumble after loses to Seth. That's interesting too.
I think Brock is going to win. I think there's going to be so many different scenarios. We also can't necessarily throw away the potential that one of these guys in Brock or Roman could lose the title at Elimination Chamber too. That's also a very likely possibility. But I would love to see Lashley get a good outing if he doesn't win. I just hope that they don't give this like a 10-minute match. It's a lot of German suplexes, and we see Brock Lesnar winning. I hope that, you give these two big guys opportunities to beat the holy piss out of each other, because I think that's what everybody wants to see. If these two want to go a little bit amateur and then go in that route, I think nobody's going to complain. But I think if Bobby Lashley doesn't win here, I would love to see him in the actual Royal Rumble match as well. I wouldn't be upset with that. And I would love to see it come down to Lashley and then somebody in the finals then. But I'm picking Brock Lesnar to beat Bobby Lashley.
Well, the man who wants to be MJ, and whatever it is, I'm tired, man. It's been a long day shoveling. Anakin's calling Lashley. It's MJF. That's freaking. We'll just keep going. Women's Rumble. I'm going to ask two questions to make it. Who is the workhorse and who comes out the Women's Rumble, and what are a couple of surprises you're expecting?
Go ahead, Parrish. You go first.
Sure. I think the surprises we're going to see are Asuka, Bayley, potentially Ronda Rousey. Workhorses, I believe we're going to see one of the horsewomen, whether it's Bayley, Sasha, or maybe even Charlotte. I think Mickie James is going to look very strong in this match. But I also look to see somebody like Bianca Belair also being asked to do a lot in this match. But with the amount of new people coming in, there's going to be a lot of people that are quote unquote rusty. Therefore, you need somebody of veteranness. So a Natty could also be someone that you look at for assistance. Rhea very well. This is already shaping up to be the biggest star-studded women's rumble that they've ever had.
Yeah.
I think this one's really up in the air depending on Rousey, as she is currently an overwhelming favorite on the betting odds for today going into the Rumble. But personally, I think a returning Bayley makes the most sense here to win the Royal Rumble.
I 100% agree with you on that.
So what are your workhorses and surprises? Like you said, you agree, but what are some like surprises that you don't expect, like Forbidden Door kind of aspect of it?
Well, I mean, I'm not really putting that much stock in the Forbidden Door because it's clear that...
Ooh.
What? Is Rob here?
I should give her own theme music. Hold on. I got to do this before you say anything, just because of this.
Drew.
I had to. What's up, Maggie? How you doing?
Take those stupid glasses off your face.
This is
Drew.
not me, Maggie. They wanted this. I didn't want this. Okay.
Who are they? I don't give a crap about who are they.
Anakin, the new mid JF, and Aaron, and him.
I'm not seeing those guys on the stream, Drew.
Hi, Maggie.
High five.
Oh, wait. No, wait.
There we go.
See, now Anakin's probably kicking himself. So he can't
Yes, he is right now because he's screaming Maggie in the chat.
Good fuck.
Yeah, so you do. Okay, so let me put it this way. While you're wearing glasses, Parrish is actually cuter than you.
Wait, am I cuter than Parrish without the glasses?
Maybe I should be like
Exactly.
Well, we're done with that.
Maybe I
At a
should
table?
just,
What are we talking about? Fuck that.
Maybe I should just leave this like conversation now, considering.
No, please no. I just popped in to make Drew take his glasses off. I'm actually in my pajamas in my bed, and yeah,
Ready
because
to
it's
roll.
Again, be quiet.
I
You
don't
too,
want to
mister.
ruin your
I
guys'
see you.
show. Yes, please, everyone, don't touch yourself. Wait for me to leave and then talk behind my back and tell me how pretty I am. So I just need to sleep before the show. I actually would like to watch it live, so I have to sleep for a bit.
Yes.
Who's interrupting my talking? Who are these notifications? Oh, okay.
No, don't point to me. Don't point to me, mister. Your phone is going off, not mine.
Yeah, because I have a show tonight. I got stuff to do too. I got a POS show in 20 minutes.
Well, you
Don't
are
hate me
POS.
because I have a busy schedule.
Well, I could just say this much: Parrish has a real title, but this is what it's all about. 100%.
The beauty. The
Yeah.
only thing more beautiful is the person over there.
There's one thing more beautiful,
Okay,
but I'm not
gonna
allowed to
go
show
right
it.
now because I feel like this is very, very awkward. So yeah, you three continue that conversation from the off-air chat. But
We are.
No,
Wait.
I was about to leave because I need to sleep actually.
Come back, throwback. Let Maggie get her beauty rest. She needs it.
Yeah,
Who was that? He must have. That must have been for me, clearly, because I took the glasses off, obviously. So, hello, heel MJ. Nice to see you.
okay. You asked for this. This is okay. I suppose I'll see you on the watch along, Drew.
Yes.
Sure. Pray for yourself.
Hey, I took the glasses off.
okay,
She's gone now.
Real quick. Oh man.
Have to hide behind these now.
So we were talking about we'll go to the men's rumble because you guys' net consensus is same thing pretty much. Men's rumble, who are the surprises? Who's going to be the workhorse, and who do you guys got coming out of the rumble?
I legitimately don't fucking know. This is probably one of the more I didn't really care about this rumble that much, only because there's not that much I'm not that invested in it. It doesn't feel like WWE is that invested in it either, because there's no real clear story in this rumble. Obviously the story kind of plays out with what happens before it. So, whether Roman or Seth wins or Brock or Bobby, it's kind of like, okay, so if there, and I mean, I guess in a way it's a good thing too, because it tells multiple layered stories and the whole thing. So one person could win, but one person could lose. And then there's other people out there, like people have mentioned Damian Priest. I really don't think that that's going to happen. I would personally think, before yesterday, I would have thought 3 people, but now I think 2 people. My 3 people: Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Big E. But after yesterday, I don't think Big E is winning the Rumble, because he seems to be a tag team guy in SmackDown again. So, my pick, it's kind of out there, because I would have picked KO if I thought Seth was winning. But I think AJ Styles is going to win.
That's my consensus pick, and I'll die on that hill. What about you, Parrish?
Yeah, and the one argument I can make about Big E winning is we can get finally a Bloodline versus New Day thing truly being going.
As long as Woods is cleared. I don't know.
Yeah,
how long
but if you're going
for.
if we're talking about a long play to WrestleMania, I mean, you still have that.
Yeah.
Also, the one thing I think we need to understand too is there is still an Elimination Chamber match down in February.
Mm-hmm.
So just because a KO wins, Seth Rollins still could lose, but Seth Rollins could be in a chamber match. Kevin Owens helps Rollins win there to set up the match that they need, or that they've been, on TV saying this is why we're tagging so we can have this big match. And I think, too, we forget to think of Elimination Chamber as part of that WrestleMania.
Right.
The last time I think it really meant something was when Shawn Michaels actually screwed The Undertaker out of the World Heavyweight title to get that match, that second match with them. And that was the last time where I think we actually saw that as a continuation of a story instead of like an actual pinpoint or a check mark to it. I have a feeling AJ Styles is prone to win this match, because I think this is not only a testament to a reason why he went down to NXT to help Grayson Waller, but also as a thank you to help out Omos and his development. I think he actually is the one who eliminates Omos.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
And then I also think we're going to see AJ Styles kind of I think he is primed for one last title run in his career. He's been on record saying this is his last contract he signed or signing with wrestling. So I wouldn't be surprised if they finally give him this opportunity. And part of me would also love to see AJ Styles either go up against, say, a Lesnar or even a Roman Reigns. That's still a fresh matchup for me either way. But I think AJ Styles is a consensus here. There's always a shock factor in the Royal Rumble with one of the winners.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Bayley brings you a shock factor winning it. I think her return would. I think same thing with Ronda Rousey. But AJ is somebody that you're just not really – you'd almost have to see to believe it. Plus, how refreshing would it be if the final two of the Rumble came down to Finn Balor and AJ Styles?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
And they go 20 minutes before they actually eliminate. That would just be an epic Rumble finish, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Priest wins the Rumble. AJ's the Iron Horse. Sasha wins the Rumble. Charlotte's the Iron Woman. Those are Anakin's picks.
I would as an Iron Man for the men's Rumble.
Yeah,
I would probably go with Damian Priest. I think he could. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting in trouble. I didn't even ask I didn't want to bring the head of the table back for anything. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting in trouble.
Yeah, I've been saying everything's my fault.
I'll take the glasses off again. I'm sorry.
If we're going Iron Man here, it's hard because you got a lot of big guys coming in this Rumble. I would almost want to suggest you're going to see somebody different being that guy. I'm going to go with Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens as your Iron Man.
That could be. Well, tonight's the Rumble, and we're going to rumble like nothing else. So why don't we start with everything? Parrish, since you have your stuff going on in a few minutes, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Love Wrestling CA, whether it's to Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. I'll be on there with Spencer doing the POS show as we do a little bit more Royal Rumble coverage. If you happen to be in the Alberta area, could be, come check out Real Canadian Wrestling tonight, as I'll be involved into at least a 21-man Rumble, possibly more. We might have some surprises as well, so come check that out. But if not, make sure you're just supporting indie wrestling, make sure you love wrestling, and let's have fun watching and enjoying something we all appreciate.
All
right, Drew, tell them where they can find you.
Yes, I will reiterate that. Please support Chris Parrish and his nice arms and his nice hair. Please don't do that. Don't do that to me, please.
We got one more thing. Look how cute you are with that. Oh boy, the things we get ourselves in trouble and wicked crazy.
I know. So you can find me at Big Money Drew on Twitter, and you can also find me every Saturday on Fightful Overbooked for hits and misses with Joel and Drew. I do that show with Joel Pearl, and it's our top 5 hits and top 5 misses and favorite wrestler of the week. So check us out, youtube.com/FightfulOverbooked.
Also, go join these guys for their own perspective channels for watch-alongs and stuff. Fightful's got their watch-along tonight on the Twitch angle. Maggie, Andrew will be on there. Is Love Wrestling doing a watch along, Parrish?
They are. I don't know if they're actually streaming one, but if they are, go check it out. To be honest, I have a show tonight, so I won't even be watching the Royal Rumble till about maybe 1 a.m. my time, which is about 3 o'clock your guys' time.
Yeah. Maggie even said it. Go subscribe to Fightful Overbook. Also subscribe to Wicked Crazy Pinfalls here. So slap a like, comment, and subscribe. Tap the bells for notifications. Also join the Twitch. We got 2 more people before we get affiliated. That way we can get these guys to do stuff. Go check out, Fightful. They do amazing stuff. Love Wrestling. These guys are always very supportive of Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, and also Bodyslam.net. Go check out those.
One last thing, go check out Ed Fries on the Love Wrestling thing tonight. He is doing a Royal Rumble React show as well.
Yeah, and Ed's always a good guy too. He always supports everything too. One day I'm hoping to get on doing something with them. I'm going on vacation at the end of next month, so let's see how things plan out. There's certain plans up in the air, but every Tuesday night NXT post show for Bodyslam.net. Go on their YouTube page, subscribe on that. I'm the co-host for that, so it's fun to do. Yeah, Rumble, Young Man Rumble. This is going to be an interesting one. Go check out everybody in the description. Have a good night, guys. And if you're in the Northeast, I feel your shoveling pains.
And Tom Brady retired.